fuck? This was this was so fucking short and compact. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like anything
Same,
about it.
same. I was hoping you would feel that way because we're on the same page on that.
Yes. And it all started off with a 2 hour Raw. Dude, they said it hasn't been a 2 hour Raw in, I think they said about 12 years. It feels longer, but like, dude, I after watching this show, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
And you know the funny part? I saw a lot of people say the same thing. There's a few that like the 2 hours, but a lot of people want that 3 hour. But when we're there, a lot of us bitched about it. I think me and you got used to it eventually,
Yeah,
but yeah, we need that third hour back.
and it was so funny because I saw like before this, the week before, everybody was bitching about, yeah, like I hate this 3 hour Raw. I'd be glad when they go back to 2 hour Raw. The first 2 hour Raw, everyone's like, they should go back to 3 hours. I was like, yeah,
Like it definitely felt off. Definitely felt off.
yes. It started out with CM Punk coming out, and CM Punk came out, and he basically said, I'm old, I'm hurt, I work with a bunch of children, I'm going home.
That's basically what you said.
Basically what the fuck he said. And then as he's going to leave, Seth Rollins comes out, and Seth Rollins just looks at him. They have a little face to face. He laughs. He goes in the ring, and then Seth Rollins said, "Punk, I'm glad you're leaving because nobody wants you here." Anyway, back to this story. He's like, and I'm here to challenge Bronson Reed, but I know he's not here. But trust me, you're gonna get me one day. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Like he came across tweener to me.
It was no, no, no. It was it was full on face, but the reason it came across tweener was because he shit on Punk, who is now currently a face,
Yeah.
and that's and then he just went like full face against Bronson Reed. But then this next part is the part where I'm like, I'm thoroughly confused because like this goes into like NXT and other stuff, and I'm like, the fuck is going on here? Because one thing that like one another reason why this happened was because Raw was rushed and Jay Uso comes out and Jay Uso bumps into Seth Rollins and he gives him the look, he looks at the title and you're like, hmm. And then he walks off.
Yeah, that's what made me think heel maybe, but he did probably
Yeah,
just want the belt.
yeah, like I said, it the reason that it was like this is because it was rushed. And that's the bad part. Because like I felt like this would have been like a breathable segment, but because we had to go from this, and this, and then this, like the Punk and Rollins thing definitely should have happened because that's going to happen eventually.
Hmm.
But the Jay Uso thing, I think it was because they were rushed and they had to do this.
Yeah.
And then what made this even more rush was Jay Uso gets in the ring, and then he gets to face Xavier Woods. So him and Woods have this match, literally like a fucking 7 minute match. Xavier Woods loses, and then after the match, Braun Breaker, who last week was a face, comes in and spears Jay Uso and says, "I want the title."
I
And
didn't understand that a bit.
I do. The only reason I do understand that is because like he wants the title, but like I have other theories on why he didn't do the program that they had him kind of penciled in for, and
Yeah.
I'll get to that later. But like
Okay.
this didn't make any sense. And then Kofi tried to help Braun, and Xavier's like, "Doug, chill the fuck out, chill the fuck out." And then Kofi just goes to the ring, Braun fucks him up, and Xavier's like, "Man, what did I tell you?" And that sets up next week for Kofi and Braun Breaker.
Yeah, like he should have listened to Woods. Woods know what the fuck he talking about.
Yes. So then they show Cody. Cody's coming there, and people were cheering. And then I saw some people online go, "Why's Cody here?" And it's like, "Dog, Cody's here because of the Gunther thing. What are you talking about?"
Uh-huh.
So then we had a backstage with Miz and Karrion Cross, and then our Truth comes up, and Truth is like, "Why'd you do what you did to me last week? I ain't in the Judgment Day no more. Maybe you got confused."
I love
And I'm
truth.
like, that shit was fucking hilarious. So then
Yes.
Miz goes, "Next week is gonna be me and you, and I'm gonna show you." And Cross was still standing there, and Cross is the devil on Miz's shoulder. I don't
Yeah.
really care for it.
I mean, he's the devil on everybody's shoulder, really.
True. So then we had a good old fashioned Donnybrook match.
They really need to change the name of this match. Like, I get it, but that's way too long to fucking say.
Yeah, this match was it was weird because like it had one spot where Sheamus did the white noise off of the table, like off of the barrels onto a table, and I was like, oh my god, that's the end of the match. They get in the ring, Butch beats the shit out of Sheamus, then he handcuffs him, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna win. Sheamus gets up with the handcuffs, hits the bro kick, knocks Butch out. I keep calling him Butch because you got knocked out with a dude in handcuffs. Like you
Yeah.
fucking deserve to be called Butch.
Yeah. He's definitely Butch. Like, fuck that. You lost your Pete Dunne privileges.
Yes. So then they interview Cody, and Sami Zayn comes up and goes, "Listen, I know why you're here, and I'm telling you right now, at Saudi Arabia is gonna be me and you." The funny part about this was WWE put out the poster of Crown Jewel, and they put out the poster with Gunther and Cody, but then they also put out a poster with Sammy versus Cody, and
Just in
that
case.
had a yeah, there was no case because a lot of people had theories, and I'm gonna get to that when we get to the main event. A lot of people had theories. So then we had Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan and Dom, and they showed up in a car. They went for a half of an interview. They said, "You know what? We're leaving this town," and they left. They just fucking left.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was so confused.
And it was all due to like the question they asked, is Raquel part of the Judgment Day? They refused to answer that.
Yes, and it was just like, what the fuck?
I think it's obvious
So,
she's in it.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So then we had Ethan Page, and he's backstage, and he wanted to talk to Adam Pearce, but Ava was back there. Ava was like, "What are you doing here?" He was like, "I came to talk to a competent general manager." She was like, "But I'm standing right here. I'm the competent one." And then Sexy Red showed up, and Sexy Red just basically said something to him and was like, "Oh," and then that was it. It set up like what happens the next night on NXT, but it was like, "Oh, okay." Like
Yeah.
if you guys
I
can
didn't
see
care.
how you can see how we're running through Raw because this is how short Raw was.
Yeah. This is like probably like the mid waypoint.
No, it's a little bit more than that because we get a 10-woman tag. Now, the funny part about this 10-woman tag is I believe this is going to be the women's War Games match at Survivor Series because it was the PFC and Unholy Union versus the TikTok Toxic Tag Team, Natty, Lyra Valkyria, and Zelina Vega.
In my
This
head
I
canon, I actually
mhm.
made the five of them a fucking crew. The Unholy Collective.
I'm okay with that because it's better than what the fuck the Pure Fusion Collective, the Unholy Collective, is way better than that.
Yeah.
So we get a little promo for Bianca and Jade. They're gonna face Damage Control next week for the titles. All right, cool.
Gonna be a good
And then
match.
oh, it's gonna be a great match. Then we get to the main event, and yes, we're at the main event already. We get to the fucking main event, and it's Sammy versus Gunther. And because of what everybody had saw at Bad Blood with Goldberg, everybody had a theory, and not an Austin theory, and not a game theory, but a theory. And their theory was that Goldberg was going to recreate the whole thing with Eddie Guerrero, and it was like, yes, this is gonna happen. And I was like,
Oh,
uh, and I was
that
like,
makes it sound good.
the funny part is like when they said that, I was like, there's no way that that's happening. There's no way that's happening. Even though like Triple H said, I talked to Goldberg and he had that little twinkle in his eye, and it feels like he wants to come back. And I'm like, all right, cool. But I knew that he wasn't gonna do like this whole Gunther thing wasn't gonna happen. So,
Yeah.
question to you:
Okay.
Did you did you think did you think that Sammy was gonna win the title?
Hell no. I had an inkling, like little like hit like thought got in it when they showed the poster. I'm like, that has to be a red herring, because ain't no way Sammy's winning. Because like me, I'm probably not naive in this and like old school. It's gonna be a heel and a face. Cody versus
Mm-hmm.
Gunther. If Sammy would have won, it would have been face to face. I know the women we have heel and heel as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is one of them are gonna lose the title before then. But yeah,
So I like even when they put the poster out, I had no doubts. I was like, yeah, Sammy's definitely not winning. And I love the narrative that they're creating outside of like just the wrestling sphere of like just a okay, we're watch wrestling, we understand wrestling, to like some of the journalists, quote unquote, are saying WWE doesn't see anything as Sammy. He's never winning the world title. Like he's never winning the world title. And someone pointed out, well, he keeps talking about the world title. Yeah, they don't see him as being the guy to carry the company and win the world title. That's why I don't see him winning the title. He's been there this long. He hasn't won the title yet. He's never winning the title. And I'm just in my head just going, you can't be that stupid. Like you can't be that stupid. Like they're literally like the crazy part about it is if you're not paying attention, you don't see it. They're programming Sammy to be in the main event picture. Everything
yeah,
Sammy has done, they keep programming it, and it's like they're dropping these little hints like, look, Sammy could be the guy. Sammy could be the guy. When he comes out, the crowd pops. And it's just these little pieces that they keep laying down, and people are like, oh, WWE doesn't see it. And I'm like, if they didn't see it, they wouldn't keep putting these pieces in place. To the point where even if you're just like, oh, he's not going to be the one to dethrone Gunther, that doesn't mean he's not going to be world champion next year. Because I can almost guarantee 100% Sammy's winning the world title somewhere next year. Like I don't know if it's going to be. It's not going to be at WrestleMania, but is it going to be after WrestleMania? He's definitely winning the world title. Like
in
there's
the
no doubt in
eventual
my mind.
sense, 100%. Yeah,
Because I see like especially the way that they had him in this match against Gunther, and I know people are like, well, it just could have been a competitive match. No, no. This wasn't done for no reason. This was like they gave him a lot in this match to the point where it felt like to people that's watching this going, oh my God, he can beat Gunther. He can beat Gunther. But he didn't. And like the way that they did it was like really, it was really good. And it made you, like now it puts doubt in people's mind. It's like, Sammy didn't just tap out, he got choked out. So what happens if Sammy keeps fighting? Because he kept fighting until Gunther choked him out, and that's how he lost. And it's like, okay, like you see it, and it's starting to plant seeds in your mind, like, oh, Sammy's gonna be champ soon. It's gonna happen soon.
Maybe I've read too much into it too, but I
Hmm.
saw a little bit of fear in Gunther too. Like it was the one spot where Sammy did his like jumping out the ring like fake out,
Hmm.
and Gunther was like, "Oh shit!" Like he was scared.
It was like one point where Gunther hit him with his finisher, and Sammy kicked out at one. That's when he was like, I have to put this guy down. And then when he locked in the choke and Sammy got all the way close to the ropes, he was like, I have to kill this guy. And it's like, he's afraid of Sammy. I think he's going to lose the title to Punk or somebody else. He's going to lose the title, and it's not going to be to Sammy, but Sammy is going to take it off of one of the next two world champions.
Yeah,
And like the funny part is like I feel like it's going to be one of those moments where people are going to be like, yeah, no, they're just slotting him in just because they need somebody to win, to go against the world champ. And he's going to do it, and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, they did it. And it's like, yeah, no, this is the plan.
like we could have told you that.
Exactly. Because, like, there was kind of a plan to put him in the world title situation this year, but they was like, all right, we see a better direction, and we're going to go this other direction. So that's why it's like, it's happening. It's just not going to happen when we want it. It's going to happen. And that's when people are going to be shocked.
Similar to not all the way like the Cody situation. People wanted it right there and then when he came in,
Hmm.
but it happened a year later.
Exactly. And it was funny because like a lot of people was like that was the worst mistake ever. When he won the title at WrestleMania, everybody was like, "Oh my God, that was the most genius shit that they could have done."
Exactly. But the same thing's gonna happen with Sammy. People are gonna
Yeah, and
bitch,
the
but when it actually happens, it's gonna be gold.
yeah, and the funny part is Cody wasn't supposed to have that WrestleMania moment. He was going to win the title from Roman. It just wasn't going to be there.
Yeah,
But because of the crowd swirling it to be Cody versus Roman, that's why it happened. But it wasn't supposed to be there. Like I understand like people being afraid, but like this is what was gonna happen.
he was gonna win it anyway, just like
Hmm.
Sammy is.
Yeah, like the only thing that would stop Sammy from winning the world title is if his contract is up and he goes to AEW. That's the only thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his contract is for another 2 years. So he will probably win the world title before he goes to AEW, or if he doesn't go to AEW.
Yep.
So yeah, that was Raw. That was like really fucking quick, and like it was like the most nothing happened in Raw, and like everything got smushed together, and it was like, yeah, I don't really care. Like nothing good happened.
As you would say, it was just a show. I didn't like it.
Yeah, like bring back 3 hour Raws, and I know that it's a possibility in Netflix, possibility, not a 100%, but it's a possibility being Netflix because they still haven't hammered down what the time frame is. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's that. So that was Raw, and now we have to go to NXT. Oh, did you feel about NXT?
It was actually it was better than Raw. I'll say that. It could have been better, but it was better than Raw.
Because NXT was going head to head, kind of, with AEW, because AEW came on at 9 and NXT started at 8. So it was an hour of crossover, and that was a thing. So NXT started off with Trick Williams. and Trick is happy that he's the champion. They whooping that Trick, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Wesley shows up, and Wesley is like, "Yo, I want the championship. I deserve to be champion." And Trick is like, "Shut him up." But before anything else can happen, Jey Uso shows up. And it was the most weirdest thing because Jey Uso showed up. Jay came in the ring with Trick. Him and Trick are just having this whole back to back friend conversation. And they're doing a yeet, whoop that Trick, yeet. And nothing, it had nothing to do with anything at all.
Part of me thought Mello was showing up because they mentioned Mello.
Yeah, but that shit had nothing, like, Jay Uso showing up had nothing to do with this main event scene. It had nothing to do except for the part that Jay Uso was there. And I know somebody was like, "Oh, they just had Jay Uso because they were trying to beat AEW." This was announced like last week that Jay Uso was going to be there, but like there was literally zero reason for Jay Uso to be there. Like there was none.
Also, you said AEW started at 9, correct?
Yes,
This was in the 8 o'clock mark, right? So,
yes, this was at
it
8 o'clock. Period.
so
Yeah,
it would not have affected AEW whatsoever.
exactly. So that's how that's how NXT started, and that was like to me that was like, sure, because like I honestly didn't know what to make of the situation because Jey Uso didn't challenge anybody. Jey Uso didn't do anything. Jey Uso just was there. And it was like, oh, okay, that was that. Like it was just so fucking weird.
I was
So
thinking tag team match the whole time, but no.
yeah, none of that. So then we had a 6 woman match, and it was Fatal Influence versus Jade Bianca and Kelani Jordan.
Good
Okay.
match.
This match was better than what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, oh, this is gonna be blah blah blah, yada yada yada. It's over match. No, this match was better than what I expected. It was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what? Why is this match so good? This match was really good.
Competitive.
Yeah, and like JC Fallon and even Jasmine Nix looked good in the match,
Yep.
and they lost because like you're not gonna beat the champs, but they lost.
I
So.
mean, you say that, but it was non-title. So one of
Mhm.
them could have pinned and then went for the title match, and then they would definitely lose because on paper this was a nothing match.
Hmm.
Fatal Influence win, they wouldn't win nothing but a contender match. It'd be the equivalent to a eliminator match in AEW.
Basically. But that was over. Then we had a backstage thing with Faxium and Randy Orton. So they're talking, and Randy's like, yo, give me some intel on this Javon Evans guy. And so Axiom goes, he's the fastest guy here. And David Fraser's like, I'm standing right here. And he's like, no, no, no. He's like, no, you know what I mean. So like it was funny because like it was accidental, like them beefing, but it was just funny. So
But like to be honest, he's not wrong though. Javon, I think,
he's
is faster than Nathan.
exactly. But this shit was hilarious. So I didn't read any of this because like I didn't look at the spoilers, but like they were interviewing Julia in the back, and Julia was talking to Megan, and then all of a sudden she says, "Oh, my old friend, you're here." And I knew exactly who it was. I was like, "Oh, it's Stephanie McCare." Like that was it. Like I
That
knew
shocked me
exactly what
a
it,
little bit because like when they first showed Stephanie, it seemed like they were gonna beef. So
that that's what it was. But because plans changed, because Cora showed up out of nowhere and screwed everything up, that's why they were like, oh, we're gonna team because there's two of them and there's one of us, and we both want the title, but we're gonna team up to get rid of them because they're too tight knit of a group.
Yeah,
So that was the next segment because Roxy comes out and Roxy's there and she's talking, and then Cora comes out and Cora says, "I came out to help her because this is the you that I always wanted you to be, and that's why I'm here. Plus, you guys forgot about me, and here I am." And it's like, we didn't forget about you. We were just waiting for you to come back, but you're back. Okay.
basically.
So they're talking shit, and then Julia comes out. And Julia stands there, and then Stephanie comes out. And they beat the shit out of the women, and then they pick up the title at the same exact time. And they look at each other, and it's like, oh, we all know where that's going to lead to eventually. But before that, like I said, weeks like last week on its podcast, it's going to lead to a tag team match: Julia and Stephanie versus Cora and Roxy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said that.
the Lee sisters, if you will.
Yes. So then we go to the back, and we see no quarter catch crew. Well, speaking of the Lee sisters, before we go on, did you know Punk was backstage in NXT?
I didn't at that moment, but I saw pictures later on. So,
Yeah, he stayed because now he has been helping out backstage with NXT. And this is through PW Insider, who usually has their finger on the pulse as usual. PW Insider said that Nick Khan, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels have offered a job to CM Punk to be the next Shawn Michaels when time comes. They've
ah,
offered it to him. He hasn't accepted. He hasn't said, I'm done. But this is one of the things that Punk has always been talking about with NXT. I mean, well, not NXT, but just like in general with AEW and shit. Like, I wanted people to come up to me and ask me questions and be like, yo, here's advice, here's this. And he talked about this on O'Shea Jackson's podcast about the younger talent wanting to like yearn for knowledge, and that's what makes him happiest is like giving them, hey, you could do this, hey, do this little thing here, and they come up and ask them for advice. And he was talking all of this stuff about how NXT has air conditioner. It's like a college for wrestling. This is what I always wanted in wrestling. It feels so good to be down there. He was like, every time I get a chance to go down there and teach with the kids, I'm down there, and he's like, it just makes me happy, and I'm like, that's what he wanted in AEW, but people didn't want to go, hey, Punk, this, hey, teach me this, because it was more like, hey, we kind of know what we're doing, just fuck off.
yeah, which the NXT kids know what they're doing, but they want to learn. AEW people,
Hmm.
they don't want to learn anything. That's what it
Yeah, it's
seems.
because it the reason I think the AEW crowd, like the people don't want that advice is because like, yo, I bust my ass to get here. I don't need you telling me a different way to do something. I know what I'm doing because I got myself here. That's how they feel. This is a bunch of young people who are college kids and regular wrestlers that are like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing, or like, hey, can you teach me how to do something different? Like Ethan Page said, he was like, yo, I've been wrestling for about 20 years, and I literally thought I knew everything. I come here and I'm like, oh, I didn't know shit. I was self-taught. They're actually teaching me how to do better stuff. Oh shit, I was doing it wrong. I'm glad I came here.
It's that indie mentality that they get stuck
Hmm.
with.
Yep. So we get no quarter catch crew, and Ren Sinclair says, next week I'm taking on Stephanie Vicaire. So here's the thing: while they're walking, Brooks Jensen walks behind them, and nobody pays attention to him, and he just like looks at them, and then just like walks away. And then they bump into Lexus King, and they're talking to Lexus King, and he's like, "Yo, I really try to be a nice guy, but they oral screwed me over. What should I do?" So Charlie Dempsey says, "You should have a gentleman's agreement match with him and have this really nice match." And you said that that's not how it's going to go down.
Yeah,
You was like, somebody's going to cheat.
of course, and it's gonna be Lexus. In this case, it's gonna be Lexus.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, but
So,
he's gonna try to stay being a face. Like
mhm.
he's gonna have that struggle.
So then we had Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo. Once again, they put on a banger, but I did not see this coming.
I did
You
at a
pointed,
certain point.
yeah, and I was about to say that. You pointed out when Obafemi knocked down Adriana Rizzo, Tony snapped and like he started to come back. But like he started to come back to a point, and then Ova beat him up a little bit more, and he went for the power bomb, and Tony fell right behind him, rolled him up, 1, 2, 3. Tony's the new champ.
I'm only upset at one thing. This
Hmm.
whole thing was a Rocky storyline. They didn't end it with the Rocky thing. Because her name is similar to it.
Wait,
Adriana, I did it.
wait, but that doesn't mean next week he's not going to do that.
Okay, if he does it next
See?
week, then it ends perfectly. But as of right
Yeah.
now, I don't like it.
So then they show footage of Lola fighting with Jada backstage after their match. So Lola's talking to Ava Rain, and she's like, "Listen, I want a match with her," but then here comes Nikita Lyons. And so she says, "You know what? Next week, Lola is going to be you versus Nikita Lyons."
She's been gone for so long, Nikita, right? I
Yeah.
forget her attitude. So
Hmm.
she kind of struck me as kind of like a cocky heel. Like the way like she was looking at Lola and whatever. I don't know if that's always been her, like I forget,
Hmm.
but because like she's been a face, so I don't know if that's always been her.
Yes, that's always been her.
Okay,
Like that, like that's her whole style. So I'm like, yeah, no, that fits the mold.
okay, so she's still a face, I guess.
Yes. So then we get Jade, Bianca, and Kalani Jordan, and they get confronted by Lash and Jakara. But what people don't notice is Jada Parker walks behind them and gives a little look like, "Oh, I'm scoping one of you out." And we know it's probably Kalani.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, so Jade basically tells Lash, if you guys want a shot at our titles, then show up on SmackDown to challenge us for the championships. And the funny part about this is like they challenged them for this match on SmackDown, but something happens on Raw, which confuses the living fuck out of me. Because like if this is one thing, then why the fuck did this other thing happen that's supposed to happen next week on Raw? It's so weird. It is really fucking weird.
Little
Like we're not gonna get
convoluted.
into like we're not gonna get into spoilers, but it's like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it makes no fucking sense. But we'll figure out what happens on SmackDown that ties into that other thing. Hopefully, it's something.
Yeah.
So then we had Fraxium versus A Town Down Under for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
I almost thought
I,
A-Town and Under were gonna win.
for a second, I did too. I was like, wait, are they going to win? But because of a little mishap, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller lost.
Yeah.
because it was a basic, oh shit, and they fucked up each other, and then yep, they lost.
So they're gonna break up.
Oh yeah, they're
We
gonna break up.
we
I
keep
hope they
saying
don't
it, but
break.
yeah,
Yeah, but I hope they don't break up until after they face the Motor City Machine Guns.
yeah, that should be the breaking point.
Yes. So I want to know who the fuck is gonna take on Fraction. Like, who's gonna be the people that's gonna take them out for the tag titles? Because they really don't have many tag teams down there.
I have a theory. It's a weird theory,
Mm-hmm.
not a game theory, Austin theory, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still gonna be the Motor City Machine Guns. Only thing they're gonna be SmackDown people with the NXT titles. Not the first time that has happened. Dominic Mysterio.
I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
So then we have your favorite wrestler, Ridge Holland, and he's
What the fuck?
angry. You love Ridge.
When the fuck is this son of a bitch not angry? Even when he was happy, he was still angry because he hated them in secret.
I don't know. That's a good question. So he's getting interviewed, and all of a sudden Riley Osborne comes out of nowhere and jumps him, and then he beats the shit out of Riley Osborne.
I was confused
Why were you confused?
because he took out Andre Chase. He took out Duke.
Hmm.
On
Hmm.
paper, I thought he took out Riley, right? So I'm like, okay, who else do they have? And like, I didn't see the person clearly because like, boy was kind of fast and shit like that. I'm like, who the fuck be them? Oh, it's Riley. Shit. If I didn't know better,
I
I would have swore it was Thea because
That's
she's the only one
fucked
left.
up. Yeah, but Riley is the first one back, and I think they're all gonna start to come back piece by piece. And the last one is gonna be Mr. Chase that beats up Ridge Holland, and that's how
Yeah,
this is over.
100%. He's gonna be the one to take him out.
Hmm. So then we had Sexy Red, and she's performing, and then all of a sudden, here goes Ego.
Ego. I haven't done it in a while. He deserved it for this.
Yes, because he interrupted her and stopped her from singing, and she was like, "Yeah, it's you from yesterday. You suck." And before anything can happen, here comes Javon, and Javon knocks Ego out of the ring and dances with Sexy. Now, this doesn't make any sense, but this is a little loophole to something that happens later on. This is a very tiny loophole when Javon knocked the shit out of Ethan Page. This is a very tiny loophole. It doesn't make any sense if you're really looking at it later on, but this is a loophole that they can use to be like, see, this is why. It's a very tiny loophole. Doesn't make any sense for real, but it's a tiny loophole. So then we had Delta, and Delta had a commercial where she's beating people up. She looks awesome.
This felt like that movie. I forget the name of it. Mad Max. This felt very much like Mad Max to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. So then we had Randy Orton versus Javon Evans. This was a good match. Like Randy did give him a little bit of something. Randy fucked him up a lot. And then we had the finish. And it was Javon's spinning finisher. And it was supposed to go into an RKO. And they botched the timing, even though they practiced it over and over and over earlier. They botched it, and then Randy was like, "I'm gonna give you an RKO still." He picked him up, gave him the RKO, and pinned him. And they cut to the crowd and they show Randy's wife and kids, and Randy is not the old Randy. Like Randy's not the old Randy. And I mean that in all sincerity. He's not the old Randy because after the match, he picked him up and told him he was like, listen, he was like, shit happens. He was like, it's all right. He's like, you're gonna be good. And he shook his hand, and I was like, yeah, that's not the old Randy. He grew up.
Yeah, because a lot of people expected him to do the Kofi Kingston like reaction. Stupid,
Hmm.
stupid, stupid, stupid.
Yeah, no, he grew the fuck up, and that's the maturity of the new Randy.
Yeah.
And he's he even felt like he even said he felt bad for the kid because they practiced it multiple times, and Javon felt bad that he fucked it up. Randy was like, shit just happens. He was like, it's all right.
Sometimes it's harder to do something in the actual action than in practice.
Hmm. So after the match, we see Ava, and she's talking to Wesley and Ethan Page. They both want a shot at Trick. So she's like, all right, next week we'll find out who number one contender is. And she's like, but I'm going to add a little twist. I'm adding Javon Evans. And they're both like, what? And like I said, the only thing that shoots them a little bail is that Javon Evans punched Ethan Page. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, he just beat up Ethan Page, so, that's why he's here.
True, true. And he did do good in that match, against Randy. He
Yeah, but
lost, but he did good.
yeah, like, we both know there's no reason for this kid to even have this match at this point. It's like, like, you just lost to Randy. Like, there's no reason for this. Like, it's like, yeah, like, there's no reason for this. But, like I said, they can shoot Bell where they be like, ha! He punched him. That's it.
Who you got in this match? Because it's probably like the most obvious one that makes sense.
Oh, Wesley.
Obviously, I knew that was gonna be it. Because it should have been
Yeah,
him years ago.
mm-hmm. Like, it's definitely Wesley. And I don't know if they're gonna do this, and they probably won't. And I swear to God, I really hope they do. If they go to the fucking route where they go, yeah, you know what, Trick? I was the one who fucked you over all those years. Mello just took credit because I wasn't here. And be like, thank you. Like, that's where it was supposed to go in the beginning.
I was about to ask you, like, do you think they was gonna run it back to that? So, yeah, hopefully they
I
do.
really, yeah, I really hope they do because it feels like that would be such a really fun point where everybody be like, "Oh shit!" Like that makes sense. Like that makes
Yep,
sense. So yeah,
can't wait
like
for the
that.
match.
Yeah, that's me either. But like, holy shit! Like that would be great for that.
Yes.
So yeah, that was everything that happened on NXT. Now we can go to AEW because we're getting closer to the dream.
Title
Wrestle Dream.
Tuesday.
No, it was Wrestle Dream. Wrestle
No,
Dream,
no,
god
we're going
damn.
into Wrestle Dream, but this was Title Tuesday.
Yes. This was one of those frustrating as AEW. Like everything was frustrating, but like I understand this was compact, but this was frustrating because a lot of stuff happened that like was weirdly dumb. Just weirdly dumb. Like it was just so weirdly dumb. Cause it started off with Moxley, and Moxley cuts this promo about Bryan, you never should have won the title. You don't have the heart to do this, and you shouldn't be the champion. And I'm going to take the title from you, and I'm going to end your career in your home state. So that's what's happening. They're like, okay, cool. And Bryan responds, said, I'm going to kick your fucking head in. I was like,
Literally.
okay. Yeah, it was like, okay, cool. So then we had Brody King come out to confront Darby Allin. And it was this was like the weirdest fucking thing. This everything about this was so weird. And like Darby's like, I'm the face of this company. He's like, I don't know why you're here. He's like, I did everything to get you here. So why did you answer the challenge? And this is Brody King's exact thing. This is Brody King's exact thing. You want to be the face of this company, but you keep wanting to kill yourself. You're going on a mountain to die. What does that look like? The face of the company goes to a mountain and fucking dies. That makes no sense. I'm like, you know what? You have a point.
In my head, I'm like, did Viper write this? Like, what the fuck?
Like it
Like,
literally, it made no fucking sense, dude. Oh my god. Like
like,
he had,
because like literally, if you would write, if this was a video game and they had create a fucking story, this would be your story for them. You would literally book this.
yes, because it's like, what is he complaining about when he like, I'm the face of this company, but you just keep trying to kill yourself. So what does this mean? Like it means nothing. Like you're gonna die, then they're gonna have to have a new face. It meant nothing. Then the thing that made me fucking go, what is happening? So they start to have a little fight. Brody King starts to beat him up. All of a sudden, Darby Allin brings out a rock out of his fucking pocket and hits Brody King in the face. I'm like, he's the face, right? I'm not crazy here.
And weirdly enough, that's the most unique weapon I've ever seen. Like you think figured that was easy. I've never seen somebody bring a rock.
Yeah, it was so weird because like he just like brought this rock and bust him in the face. He busts his mouth open. I was like, okay, whatever. It was just so it was so damn random. But once again, Brody King is one of those heels that is right. He's fucking right. Darby shouldn't say he's the face of the company when he wants to fucking die. Makes no fucking sense.
Is he a heel though?
No, not to me.
See?
So then we had Don Callis and Jake the Snake with Lance Archer, and Don Callis goes, "We made a trade. I traded him somebody for the services of Lance Archer." I'm like, okay, I didn't know you could do that. Like a lot of not everybody that like was watching this was like, you could just trade people like that. Like when was that a thing? I was like, I have no fucking clue.
Wrestlers are Pokemon now.
I apparently, and to me, I didn't like this trade. We'll get into why later on. But yeah, I didn't like this trade.
And technically, did Jake
Hmm.
win?
Fuck no, nobody won. Everybody lost. Like, this shit was fucking annoying. So we had Daniel Garcia come to the arena, and Renee Paquette says, "Hey, what are you doing here?" He says, "Hey, Renee, nice to see you too. But you know what? I have something to say, and I want to say it out there in front of the crowd." And like, as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, he resigned." Like, there was nothing in my mind going any other way. It was like, "Oh, he resigned."
I didn't care.
I know. So this is for you because it's Hispanic Heritage Month. They had a lucha match on Title Tuesday.
Like I'm gonna do the fucking meme. That's racist.
That's fucked up. Like it kind of is because it was Commander versus Hologram, and of course Hologram won. So that was the thing. So
Like first of all, like
uh-huh.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. They're both faces. Match
Yes,
didn't make no fucking sense. It
it
was
didn't make any sense.
it wasn't even great because I'm gonna be honest. Hologram sucks.
Oh,
I
I mean
I
that.
don't I don't like Hologram. Like he's an average luchador. Like do we even call him a luchador? Like no. Commander, he's awesome. I like Commander. But
Yes,
to me, this should have been probably Commander versus Beast Mortis if we're gonna go that route and do a luchador match. Racist.
true. So after that, it gets much more racist because Jake comes out and Jake just looks at the ring and all of a sudden, Rouge, Commander, and Drilistico, I mean, not Commander, I mean, it's Beast Mortos and Drilistico, they all come out and beat the shit out of Hologram and Commander. So, yeah, nothing about this worked. Like, I don't like LFI with Jake. I wish that they would just by themselves. Then I also don't like Lance Archer with Don Callis. I don't like any of this at all.
Now, in your words, I'm gonna give him some bail, right?
Hmm.
At least in Jake's side, right?
Hmm.
These guys can't speak English. And that might sound racist, but you need to fucking know English to fucking work in America like that in the wrestling business. You know what I mean? They can't put subtitles on you like 24/7 and whatever. They're even trying to make Andrade talk more, you know?
Yeah, and that's coming from Puerto Rican himself, just saying that they don't speak this. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It like there's not being able to speak it well and not being able to speak it at all. You know, which none of
Yeah.
these guys do. The best one I think that speaks is Rush, and his English is horrible. Like I hate to say.
Um, I, I I guess so. So yeah, I don't like anything. I don't like anything about those that thing. It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me.
Lance
It's,
with fucking Don Callis, I don't have any explanation for that. But
yeah,
the Jake one, there you go.
yeah. This is this isn't doing it for me. So we had a Mark Briscoe promo, and Mark Briscoe was pissed off. He was like, Jericho, I'm gonna fuck you up. There was no need for you to bring up my brother. It was like that was a low down dirty move. And this was like the calmest I've ever seen him. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up.
That was
I was
almost
like,
scary, to be honest with you.
yeah, like as soon as he said that, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna fuck him up for real. All right. So then we got Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia comes out and he starts talking, and like in no point in my mind is like, oh, he's gonna leave and go to WWE. It just was like, guys, he was like, I had all this time to sit back and think, and I didn't know what to do. You know what? I'm staying right here in AEW. He was like, you know what that means? Every champion, I got my eyes on you. Like nobody's safe. I was like, okay.
Except him, because he's never winning a title.
No, he's gonna win. He's gonna win a title, and I think he's gonna wind up winning the TNT title.
That would make sense.
And that kind of pissed me off because it was like one of those things where it's like, hey guys, look, I signed. I'm still here. I'm signed. I'm here. So that's the thing. So then they played this Swerve promo, and they're playing this Swerve promo. And the thing about this thing, like Swerve is training, and he's gonna return at Wrestle Dream. But the whole thing about it is he has EJ and Duca with him, and like they're setting them up to be like part of a squad. And I'm like, he's never been on television. This doesn't make any damn sense.
He's actually appeared once or twice. They never said his name. He was just a background character. And I forgot who he
Exactly.
came out with. So that shows you
Exactly.
how much they done with this guy.
So then we had the Hurt Syndicate watching on, and they're watching on because they think that Swerve is going to sign with them at Wrestle Dream, which we all know how that's going to go. When we talk about Wrestle Dream after this, we'll explain what that means. Because the fuck. So then we had Mercedes, and Renee is telling her about Emi Sakura, and she's gonna face her later on, and they just walk off. So then we get Daniel Garcia shaking hands, and he wins in the Shibata, and Shibata says, After I win a title, I'm gonna let you challenge me. Yay. Okay.
Which means he's not winning.
Yes. So Britt Baker got sick and she couldn't wrestle this match. So instead of Tony just giving us a one-on-one match to like somebody random, he put a four-way, which is Jamie Hayter, Nyla Rose, Soraya versus Willow. And like they're it's a four-way. And it's like, why didn't you just give us a one-on-one? Like none of this mattered because Willow won and Penelope Ford came out of nowhere and attacked Jamie Hayter, which was very strange.
Random as fuck. Like I didn't even know who it was until they said it.
Yeah, like that fucked me. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like Penelope Ford? That was weird. So after the match, Mariah May and Willow are having this little stare down conversation. And Mariah May just headbutts the fucking shit out of Willow. She headbutts the fucking shit out. And the bad part was like she headbutted her. And I was like, oh, she just headbutted her. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And then like you see all this blood on Willow's face. And I was like, oh, like it's not that bad. When you see that promo backstage, you'd be like, oh shit, and like it was bad.
He got that shit from
So
Tony.
yeah. So then we had the learning tree. And they bump into Rocky and they're trying to get Rocky on their side and they was like, you're not even on the shirt. And Rocky's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. He was like, you're not even part of the conglomeration. You're just some guy. They don't even like you. You should roll with us. And Rocky's like, no.
Do you think Rocky's gonna do it?
Yeah, that's the bad part. Like, I really think Rocky's gonna do it. Like, that's the fucking bad part.
Because I was saying it to myself in that segment. I'm like, you're gonna go with him, aren't you? You're gonna
Yes.
do it. And like, watch him turn on orange. He's gonna turn on orange.
So, like, I hope so. I hope he does. So then we get Jay White versus some guy. I forgot his name. And Jay White cuts a promo after this. And Jay White's calling out Hangman. He said it's going to be me and you one on one at Wrestle Dream. And Jay White even says to the fans, because the fans are booing him, and he's like, you guys, he's like, I'm such a, he's like, I'm such a fresh, like, face that you guys didn't even cheer me. And everybody's like, wait, we're supposed to cheer you? It was so weird. It was the weirdest shit. But he basically challenged Hangman. And then we get Hook. And Hook's in the back. And he's like, yo, I'm going to catch whoever tried to beat up my father. Hook, I keep telling him, you can't fight time. That is not your enemy, pal.
He's gonna
So
try though.
he's going to try. But, like, then he turns around and Skip Sabian is running by. And he just grabs Skip. He's like, is it you? He's like, I don't know anything about dads. I don't have one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he just ran off. I'm like, what's going on?
And
And
he's
then
not wrong.
he's not wrong, but then Christian showed up, and Christian basically said, "Hey, you don't have a dad. I could be your dad." He's like, "Yeah, and we know about hospitals because Luchasaurus is in a hospital." And I lied to you not. This is really fucked up because Luchasaurus had a really, really, really bad medical episode, and they're just like, "Oh, we're just gonna just casually mention that he's sick," and it's like, "Bro, this man could have died," and you're just like, "Oh, now we're gonna bring him up just now, just like months later, not even months
It,
later, but weeks later."
it was something
So
wrong with
bad.
his lungs, right?
Yes, like so. From every report, from everyone is saying Luchasaurus was he just passed out and they found out that he had very bad pneumonia in his lungs and his oxygen was like way below the regular oxygen level and they put him in a hospital and he was not doing good for a day or two and now he's like he's getting better and it's like it was really serious. And he like the thing is he didn't know that he was sick. It was just like pneumonia was like deep down in his lungs, and he didn't realize like how bad it was, and he just passed out. And his fiance found him and was like, "Yo, like it's scary. It's scary." But
What do we call
thankfully,
her?
like,
Mrs. Soros or Mrs. Switch?
uh, I'll go with Mrs. Switch. But yeah, like he's gonna be all right, and best wishes to him.
Yeah.
So then we had Mariah May getting interviewed, and she got pounced by Willow, and you can see all of this blood on Willow's face, and she's like, Mariah, I'm gonna kick your ass, and I'm gonna take your title. The funniest part about this, she's cutting this promo directly into the camera, telling Mariah she's gonna kick her ass at Wrestle Dream. Then after she's done, they pan to the floor. Mariah May is just writhing in pain. And you're like, why didn't you just cut the promo to her? Like she's right there. It was so fucking weird. It's like, no, I'm just gonna cut it directly into the camera and I'm not gonna it's like, why didn't you just do okay.
She wanted us to feel it.
Alright. So then we had Mercedes Monet versus Emi Sakura. And this was a good match. Mercedes won, of course. And then Chris Statlander comes down and she beats up Camille and Mercedes. And it's like they still have not announced this match. They have not announced this match for Wrestle Dream. It's happening on Wrestle Dream. They have not announced it for Wrestle Dream.
How do you feel about this
Like,
version of Chris being face? That's what she is now.
I'm gonna be honest, like it hasn't even been enough time for me to process it because it just happened. It literally
Yeah.
just goes, "Oh, you were healed, now you're a face." Oh, okay, cool. That's it.
They,
Like
they
it's
did her like
nothing
Mark
else,
Henry.
basically. So also Mercedes is using the bank statement instead of the moneymaker because everybody complained about her using the moneymaker.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, and that's why they was like, do something else. And she's like, all right, I'll do something else. Fuck it. So then we had Stokely backstage trying to get the private party to tell them, yo, you need me. You need me because you guys haven't been doing shit. You need somebody in your corner to help you out. And they're just like, nah, man, like, we good. And like when they told him to fuck off, like Stokely walked away, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's gonna find another tag team, isn't he?
Or is this a red herring and they are together?
I really hope it is a red herring and they are together because I can't figure out another. Well, I can because like something happens later on, and I'm like, huh, that doesn't seem off at all. So then we see Will Ospreay, and he calls out Don Callis, and he was like, Don, last week he was like, what the fuck was that? And Don's like, what do you mean? He was like, what the fuck was that? Did you tell Takeshita to come down here and fuck me up? Did you like what was that? And Don's like, listen, he was like, I didn't do that. And then Don goes, yeah, I did it, I did it. He was like, I left the best wrestler in the world for you, and I'll do it again. It was like, okay, sure.
They didn't care.
I didn't care. So Kyle Fletcher came out to stop because Takeshita was beating the shit out of Osprey, and Kyle Fletcher was going to stop it, and he stopped Don Callis. Don Callis told him, hit him with the screwdriver. Him being Will Ospreay. He said, hit him with a screwdriver. And Kyle Fletcher was like, I can't do it. That's my friend. And so they get out of there because Ricochet comes down and beats the shit out of Takeshita. And that's it. Like, all right,
He give him back his belt and whatever.
yeah. So then we see Top Flight Security. And Top Flight Security are cutting a promo. And Action Andretti is like, this is it. He's like, this is the problem. He's like, you guys don't think you guys are blah blah. And he's just like stressing out. And then Layla Gray is like, it's you. You're the problem. And then he's like, it's not me. He's like, it's all you. You're not taking it serious. And then he walks off and Top Flight Security goes one way and then Darius stops, and Darius goes after Action Andretti.
So I had a theory here. I
Uh huh.
think like the easiest thing would be that they split and then it'll be Top Flight, the original Top Flight, fucking
Hmm.
Darius and Dante versus Leo and Action. I don't
Hmm.
think that's the way it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be Dante and Leo versus Darius and Action.
Listen, I think it's going to lead to Stokely Hathaway coming in and fixing all of this, and they become a crew, and Top Flight Security wind up winning the tag team titles. That's what I see happening.
Would it be Freebird rules? Because there's four of them.
I believe it would be
Oh, okay.
because it feels like that is the most easiest thing to do, and like I said, if Private Party aren't the guys, you could go with this tag team. They need a little help. They need somebody that's going to get them all together back in the same spot, and like that would be the perfect thing.
Yeah.
So then we had the person you called a hobo, Jack Perry, talking about how he's going to beat Shibata.
He's turning more and more into a hobo every day.
Hey, I mean, all right. So then we had a main event: Claudio and Pac versus Yuta and Bryan Danielson. And Claudio does not want to fuck Wheeler Yuta up. Every time they're in the ring, he's kind of like, I don't want to hit you. I don't want to hit you. He doesn't even want to tag when Yuta's in there. When Brian's in there, he doesn't give a fuck. When Yuta's in there, he's like, I don't want to hit you. He's like, I love you. I don't want to hit you. And so Wheeler Yuta and Brian win. After the match, Moxley comes out. Brian beats the shit out of Moxley, runs him off, and Marina Shafir comes out. And then Pac and Claudio just beat up Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio just keeps hitting him in the stomach with a fucking hammer.
In a weird way, by the way. Like it wasn't like he just like slammed the hammer in his stomach. Like it's like it looked at fake. I know it's supposed to be because like he doesn't really want to hurt him, but yeah, it looked at too
Yeah,
fake.
yeah. Like part of me feels like Wheeler Yuta's gonna join back up with the BCC,
Yeah.
and it's just weird. And so someone pointed this out, and I was like, wait a minute, is that true? So if Bryan Danielson loses the title, which he probably will, this is the end of his full time career. If this is the end of his full time career, that was his last television match.
Mm.
So yeah, that was his last television match. So yeah, that was that. Now we could give our predictions for Wrestle Dream.
Yes, sir.
So also, Chubbs was streaming earlier, and he was playing Black Myth Wukong. And all of a sudden, he was like, "Guys, I got two more tries, and I got to be out." And I'm like, "Okay, cool," because he usually does this when he has something to do later on. And then he said something was like, "All right, guys, I'll be streaming on Monday. I'll try to stream on Sunday. I don't know if I can because I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow or Saturday." And like, soon as he said, "I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow or Saturday," it was like, "Oh, so you're going to Seattle?" Because if you're leaving now, because he was like, "I have a hard out. I have to leave right now. I have to leave right now." He's like, all right, one more time. He's like, but I have to leave right now. And it's like, what do you have to do that's so important? It's like, oh, you have to get on a flight to go to Seattle to show up at Wrestle Dream. I don't know if he's gonna be on the show or he's just gonna be doing like AEW appearances or shit. But he is going to be at Wrestle Dream, which is Saturday. Like he's gonna be in Seattle.
It's probably just appearance.
I mean, I wouldn't be too shocked if he showed up on screen and said, "Hey guys, I'm fully healthy." It would
Yeah.
be like it'd be cool, but he said he'll be back Sunday night or Monday, which means yeah, he's showing up at Wrestle Dream because it's on Saturday. So let's start off with the matches of 0 hour so far. It's Atlantis Jr. versus Brian Cage for the Ring of Honor television title. Who do you have?
Page, because Atlantis is not officially a AEW person, so they're gonna like take it back.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't expect that. That was like I thought you were gonna say, "Oh no, it's gonna be Atlantis Jr. He's gonna keep the title." But okay, that
Which
was
one do you think? You think it's gonna be Atlantis?
yeah. I feel like they're gonna keep him with the title. Like for some reason, I'm like, oh, they're gonna keep him with the title. It'll be more effective to keep him with the title instead of Brian Cage winning it and be like, "Hey guys, Brian Cage won." Okay, what do you do now? Brian Cage won. Okay,
Here's
all
the
right.
thing. You're
Uh
absolutely
huh.
correct about that, right? But
Yeah.
we don't see Ring of Honor anyway, so it really doesn't matter which one wins.
That is also true. That is also true. Cause like, what the
Like
fuck? Like,
it has no impact. Cage has less of an impact. You're absolutely correct,
mhm.
but we're not watching it, so it don't matter.
Yeah, it really don't. So then we have 2 out of 3 falls. Hologram versus the Beast Mortos.
Hologram.
Yeah, because I feel like they're not going to let him lose anytime soon.
Until they get like a new luchador.
Yeah, like that's what I feel like. Yeah, he's not losing no time soon.
Yeah.
So then we have Brody King versus Darby Allin.
Darby, because he still wants to kill himself.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still going with Darbs. So the match is official because we know that it should be official, and this is how Tony does it, but it's not quite official. Mercedes versus Chris Statlander.
Mercedes. Chris deserves it though.
Yeah, Chris does deserve it, but I think Mercedes is going to keep the title.
Yeah.
So then we also have Shibata versus Jack Perry.
Okay. Before the whole like title Tuesday thing, I would have said Shibata. But now I'm gonna say Jack because like he's Jack's gonna lose to Daniel Garcia.
Yes. Jericho versus Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe.
Swerve getting confronted by Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley, of course. Like it's gonna be a beat down like a motherfucker.
Yes. Jay White versus Hangman.
Uh, you know what? I'm gonna skip this one because Jay White just came back, but you can't take away Hangman's momentum either.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the ones I'm confused about too.
it's hard, yeah.
Willow versus Mariah May.
Mariah.
Yep, I don't think Willow's winning it, even though she should. I don't think she's winning it.
'Cause there's Mina and then there's Tony. Like
Yep.
so.
Young Bucks versus Private Party.
You know what? Oddly enough, the Young Bucks. I mean, Private Party, 100%
If
Private Party.
if Stokely's involved, Private Party. If he's not involved, Young Bucks.
Okay.
The three-way: Osprey, Ricochet, Takeshita.
Takeska, because of some fuckery. I'm not saying it's gonna be Kyle, but there's gonna be some fuckery.
I'm going the opposite, and I'm going with Ricochet.
Okay. But we do
Then we have the
agree, Will's not coming out with that title.
yeah, Will's not coming out with the title. So then we have the main event: Bryan Danielson versus Moxley.
I think we both agree Moxie's winning.
Yes, but do you think Shane McMahon is showing up?
Uh, no, they're gonna like hold that back for a while. So,
Okay, so that's it. That's Wrestle Dream, and we will be back after Wrestle Dream. So yeah, any last words?
no, I was gonna make a fucking "I have a dream" joke, but like I forgot the words.